Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tamriel. Welcome to Dragon's Dogma Online first look, and we're gonna be talking about the game. I finally was able to go through the painfully long process of setting up the account. Let me tell you, I'm glad there are guides out there on the internet, on Reddit. By the way, all the guides for everything that I do. There's no video guide available that I can show you at the moment. If I find one on the internet, I may leave it in the description below. But for now, just enjoy the Reddit guide that is going to be available in the description below if you want to set this game up for yourself. It is going to be a painful process, and it's going to be a very lengthy process, but it is so worth it. The game is amazing, seriously. Graphics and the combat and how it feels and everything, it stays true to the original game so well, and it feels like a really fun MMO. I just wish I could do like more player content and maybe interact with more players, but blame on myself still. It was extremely fun. I'm looking forward to playing this game more in my free time. But nevertheless, I do want to give you guys a first look into this game, and I will be recording live reactions, so I'll be able to commentate on everything that's going on, as well as I can do this kind of overview after I record for a little bit of the game and get to a certain stopping point where I feel like I can actually talk about the game and discuss it a little bit in, its current form, and kind of give you this first look impression about the game. Nevertheless, the game is called Dragon's Dogma Online, and yet another Japanese-only game that is currently locked to the region of Japan, which really sucks if you don't live in Japan. Nevertheless, we're going to be jumping into this game on ultra graphics and everything maxed out and all that, and just seeing what the game is like. Okay, so from the cinematic that I was able to see just now, my Japanese is piss poor, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it straight up. If somebody wants to go in the comments below and say what exactly it was said in the cinematic, from what I understood, there was one gray dragon, the white dragon, and then another dragon tried to fight it, the orange or the red dragon. They had a battle, the orange one fell, and the white one, I guess, became known as a deity, but it was heavily wounded, so it fell down to the, among the men. Before it could pass away, I believe it branded everybody with its fire symbol, and either we are playing as, the Arisen, the future Arisen, or we're playing as a pawn, which is another person, I guess, group of people that is very important in the Dragon's Dogma universe. So here for now, we're gonna go ahead and start making our character. We're gonna select the name. We're gonna go with Tamriel as the first name, and then last name YouTube. Sure, yeah, I guess that'll work out. Yeah, that'll work out, sure. Gender, okay, we're gonna go with, I already have one guy made, so I guess we'll go with a girl this time. Presets is something we can select right there in the beginning. I think this will be pretty good. The character creation is really good. I will go in and I will show you exactly what it's like, but I guess we'll choose this person right here. Not gonna go with a random. Hairstyle, they got plenty of hairstyles all over the place. A lot of them will be similar to how they were in the Dragon's Dogma games. Some will be added in. The graphics are pretty much the same, and how the entire game operates with character creation is also the same, so it's pretty much all going to be very familiar if you played it before. Overall, there are a lot of sliders for the face shape and stuff like that in order to customize the faces. Oh, don't want to go back. A lot of eye shape adjustments that you can do if you really need to in order to make your character look perfect. I'm just going to leave this character as is, but there's a lot of customization from makeup to ears, mouth, color, body shape, and voice. Which actually, let's go. Yeah, let's go with this. I guess that voice will work out. Body shape, I think, will be fine. We can do a lot of things if you really want to make a character really fat, and all these things will affect how your character performs in general in the game. So, if I remember correctly from the last game, what the idea is the character's build and actual shape defines what kind of stats and attributes they'll be able to have. Like characters that are shorter are gonna not be able to jump as high or climb a lot of high spots and not carry a lot of things, but gonna be really fast. Characters that are big are going to be able to carry a lot of heavy weapons, but they, stamina is going to be pretty low, but they'll be overall just better at carrying things and taking on some of the, the brunt of the damage, which I believe still applies in this game. Anyway, we go with this edit, we'll work with that. The 4 classes we start with are Fighter, Hunter, Priest, and Shield Sage. So far I tried out the Shield Sage. It's pretty much you run around with the shield in one hand, taking on the damage and absorbing the damage, and you have a staff, or I guess a wand of a sort. I guess it would be called a wand, where you can enchant your shield and your elements and shoot up magical projectiles, so pretty much like a magical tank, which is pretty cool. The priest is just a regular priest with healer that is going to be able to eventually learn how to do some damage dealing spells, which are going to be pretty cool down the line. The hunter is just straight up your range character that's able to use bows, arrows, and daggers. And fighting somebody you can interchange between sword and shield for more defensive style attack, or I guess combat, or have a two-handed weapon eventually. And you can interchange these classes later on in the game. You don't have to just like select fighter and just stuck with fighter. If you want to change class to hunter, priest, or shield sage at any point, you're more than welcome to do so. It would just take, kind of reset you back to, square one, and then you start from there. For now though, I think I'm going to go with a fighter class. Seems something that can fit me best. And here we begin. We are met with Leo and Iris, and they're going to be the companions that are going to start with us in our party. We're currently set to level 15. I believe we're going to the city of Barnes, I think. Make your way to Griffin Fort. Never mind, not even close. I heard Barnes or something. That's what I heard at first. Anyway, we're currently capped here at level 15, and it's going to allow us to kind of test out some of the abilities that we'll have. Anyway, let's go ahead and get ourselves in a first taste for combat here. As a warrior, we are a character that is able to just go right into the front line of battle and do some serious damage. Left bumper also puts up block and lets us focus on enemies if we're close by to them, and we'll be able to kind of target them, sort of. We have some custom skills which we can try out here. Blink Strike, let's try that out. Oh, hell yeah. Also, one of the best parts about this game is that you can still climb on NPCs that are big enough to climb on. For example, I might be able to climb on this ogre and actually stab him right in the face. And this is actually one of the best mechanics out there for Dragon's Dogma. It's very reminiscent of Dragon's Dogma. When you have huge enemies you can climb onto, or little guys you can like just toss off the cliffs or something, you can do that. Alright, let's get this guy and stab right in the face so we can do the most amount of damage. Or like a spine, more like it. Also, you can climb all over the enemy. Look at me. I'm just going to be climbing. Let me just start climbing all over the enemy. See, I can climb all over the enemy. It looks silly, but it is very advantageous and very good to use when you're actually like properly trying to fight the enemy. And now we just stabbing the hell out of his face. Oh my god, we're just carving him left and right. Can't use any healing medicine for now, but we can climb onto this guy and stab him right in the freaking face. Hell yeah. This is like one of the best badass things you can ever do in this game, is to climb on top of a giant character and just take him out. Or hit the weak spots like the legs to try to take him down and collapse the giant so they can fall over. See, hit him a couple times on the legs and able to strike them right in the head, which is the weak point. Okay, now the game fully starts. I believe what we saw ahead of time was a flash forward or maybe a flash back. I believe it was a flash forward, which is pretty common for Dragon's Dogma to start off in that sense, so it's understandable. We met Fabio here, and he's going to be give us a first quest to go talk to Leo in the audience chamber. This quest board is eventually where we get a bunch of quests from. We don't have to worry about it right now. Let's go ahead and move on forward. Okay, and this is the dragon that was from the very beginning. Surprisingly, you may think this thing is a rock, but this thing is actually moving. It actually talks. It actually makes noise. We can't climb it right now. I think it'd be kind of rude to climb a big dragon that gave us the dragon flame scar thing on our chest. So it does something about a power. I think it either bestows power on us or says something about a power. And apparently we got the slumbering god items. I'm not sure. Are they equipped on us right now? Let's check here. So even though the graphics look a little muddy sometimes, not the best, or maybe a clothing or clothes from this dragon, overall the game runs really well. I mean, graphically it looks exactly like Dragon's Dogma, and I don't really mind the graphics of Dragon's Dogma, so I personally have nothing to complain about. Okay, so Fabio tells us we can get original abilities. Now we gotta introduce ourselves to the Archibald at the Inn District. This is where we'll be able to switch around with different classes and all that, and try out different things and different professions if you really want to. You can switch at any time, but like I said before, you need to level them separately if you want to be able to, be proper at them. So let's go over here. Go to the inn. At the inn you can rest, clean your wounds and stuff like that, and make sure that you are nice and healthy. And let's go over talk to Archibald here. Now he wants us to go and take jobs. Okay, see right here, we can change different jobs to the hunter, to the priest, to the shield sage, and I think we'll get to unlock more of them as we go on, because I know there are more sub jobs out there as well for the game. Let's go and put on Blink Strike as one of the abilities here. There we go. And for now, it's pretty good for us. We can either go back to Fabio, which I think would be a pretty good idea, or we could go over to do basic combat skills, which this game actually teaches about combat, which is really nice of it. Not a lot of games go out of the way to actually teach you this kind of stuff, but this game really does. Alright, boys and girls, we're finally going to be going outside and checking out the real world, the world outside of the big city. Okay, this looks actually really cool. We got like a desert place, so we'll eventually get to discover a lot more of this. Let me check the minimap here and see what it's like. Oh, there's plenty of stuff to discover here. Look at that. We got a little village over here of Tell. We got a Heidel Church as a dungeon. And new areas we can discover in the future. So far, the starting city, it looks pretty cool. We got also the Gritton Fort, which we can go back to if you really want to. For now, though, I believe our mission is to actually take out some of the goblins, I believe, that are in this area. So something you gotta watch out for when you do the combat is literally the stamina bar. I believe the mages also have stamina bars, so everybody pretty much has the same resource to watch out for, which also pays another homage to the original game. Also, confirmed, we have climbing. We can now apparently climb things, which I don't think was in the original game either, but this is actually kind of cool. We can actually get to like top of the places and everything. That's pretty neat. Alright, time to go over here to the training chapel and learn some abilities for us. Okay, so right now what we're doing is learning how to actually participate in combat and what our class is capable of, which is pretty cool. I like how it's introduced us to, you know, the ways we fight. And now we can incorporate all that into our overall combat here. Let's go and do that. We've got something called guard break, which will let us break the guard of the enemies that are unsuspecting of our attacks. Well, boys and girls, level 3. Collect the emblem proving you completed the challenge, and then we should be able to get out of here. Pour back to Renton of the White Dragon Temple. Alright, sweet. Looks like we went through all that. Let's continue on going further. Okay, so fall damage is a thing. We should probably be aware of that. We can fall if the world does not have AC behind us. Okay, we can also be a cruel son of a bitch and slaughter poor bunnies, just like in the original game. Yeah, alright. And now we level 4. Hell yeah. That is how we do it, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, we are level 4. Also, we got another quest to grab from there. Completely didn't realize that. I just went off on adventures. No quest boards that we can get right now. For now, I think we're pretty solid on quests. Let's go ahead and see, maybe we can find a store to stop by. Man, this place is beautiful. Can we sit in a chair? We can sit in a chair. Man, this is totally immersion is happening right here, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently we can get rewards. Oh, we can get rewards for actually receiving quests through this, through the storage box. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's an interesting way of receiving rewards. Let's see what kind of rewards we got here. I believe we got some new clothing here. Oh, so, okay, so it stores everything in our storage box, huh? Chest, tunic, I don't think it really has anything that I need here. I wonder if what I have right now is any better. Let me check here. There we go. Now we got a classic Dragon's Dogma cloak. It looks all ragged and stuff, but it has character to it at the same time. I'm literally taking a tour of the city right now, just going from place to place, going to the inn, learning about inns and all that, going through odds and ends, and just kind of learning my way around here. The bazaar, which I think is the pseudo auction house. I believe that's what it is. Alright, defeating the Cyclops, that's gonna be easy. Let's do it. Get right in the face, right in the back of the head. Ooh, we almost got him, and he fell right on top of us. Keep stabbing him, we're good. Okay, now we start to look like a real warrior. I am loving it. Hell yeah. The questing progression of Dragon's Dogma Online is very similar to the original Dragon's Dogma. The main quest is something that serves as an anchor for players to follow along as they explore more of the world and more of the story. They can get a lot of side quests from the call boards and talking with NPCs in the game, which are timed, by the way, and do have an expiration date, so if you do not complete them on time, then it will be null and voided. And also they have world quests that just kind of happen within the world, and multiple players can team up together to accomplish them. All in all, it is a very fun quest system, and it is highly reminiscent of the Dragon's Dogma series, and even level 1 quests can give you a lot of experience, so it's just beneficial to do every single quest on a call board whenever it's available. Now, I didn't really get to talk about the sound while I was recording the live reaction. I probably should have focused a little bit more on the music and the soundtrack of the game. Overall, the combat feels very impactful, very cool. The magic spells just look and feel really awesome and just sound amazing, sound as good as the ones in Dragon's Dogma. And if you've ever seen the spell effects in Dragon's Dogma or ever heard them, they sound very realistic and very fantastic. Like, they actually do define, you know, what a sound effect of fantasy fireball or lightning bolt or any other effect should sound like. They sound perfect and they really match their attributes for fire, water, poison, and whatever. The music and the soundtrack for this game is incredible. One of the better soundtracks ever. Nothing really stood out personally for me, but it really went with the Dragon's Dogma theme. As in, the music was very reminiscent of the original game, and it's something that plays perfectly in the background to complement on what is going on, whether you're perusing the city for quests or marketplace, or whether you are in a dark, deep dungeon or in a cellar full of undead trying to fight your way through hordes of enemies. And apparently, we now have the ability. I think I know what's going on here. I think we're creating a pawn. Oh my god, hell yeah. The pawns are creatures that look humanoid that were able to be summoned by the Arisen, the main character that you play as back in Dragon's Dogma, into being recruited into the party that were able to offer different set of skills. Players were able to create their own pawns with their own skills and train them, as well as allow other Arisen around the world that were connected to the internet to borrow their pawns and recruit them to the party to be helpful. I was able to make my pawn before, but this time I decided I'm gonna recreate my original character from Dragon's Dogma and see how it looks like in this game. I know exactly what type of character I want to make. I want to recreate the character that I had back in Dragon's Dogma, my original character. So I had this character back in Dragon's Dogma, and I decided to make him a cleric, my original character that I was just messing around on live streams. I want to make sure that it was a mage, and I decided I was just gonna make him just look absolutely ridiculous. This is the best I could do right now with a quick recreation. I wasn't gonna take too much time on it, otherwise it would take me forever to perfectly recreate the character. But I want to see if we can see my character from Dragon's Dogma be pseudo recreated back into the game. He is beautiful. He is just the best thing ever. He's a lot more puffier than I remember, but I couldn't find a lot of wrinkled up faces that made him look very manly. But we got twin braids. I gave him a sexy personality because I thought it'd be amazing. Can I give him anything at all? Like, can I give him gear? Even to this point, I've yet to figure out any way to equip my pawn with any gear. I will have to do some research on that, see if maybe I can look up some videos on my own, but I know that there is a way to upgrade your pawn further and make them stronger by equipping them better gear and have them level alongside you. Every single pawn starts at level 1, but you can change their abilities and their skills and actually upgrade them like you can upgrade yourself, which is also very reminiscent of the original Dragon's Dogma game. I did not get to capture a lot of great gameplay for my Sorcerer Pawn Twin Braids, simply because as Sorcerer, he mostly just stays in the back, buffs me, debuffs some enemies, and doesn't really go on the offensive. He mostly just waits to heal me or to give me, you know, boons and offensive buffs. Which is very nice of him, that the AI actually is able to predict what kind of actions to take and is able to take those actions. I should have made my pawn into a warrior or ranger so that they'll be on the more offensive side, so they'll actually be able to show off a little bit. But as a sorcerer, it was actually very helpful to have a support play with me, since I really don't have any ability to heal other than use potions, and having somebody be my pocket healer from the side was actually very beneficial. Nevertheless, if you can get your hands on this game, and give it a try, then go for it. It is really fun, it is really addicting, and I can't wait to just play more and more of it. The story is pretty good, except I only understand like every third word. I am not fluent in Japanese, and not all quest dialogue is translated. I'm pretty sure a lot of the dialogue is not really translated at all, but at least the quest journal gives you enough information to know what you gotta do. So you can sort of piece information together from what you see and what you read in the quest journal. So far, really liking the game, want to see how far it goes, and hopefully if I ever reach close to max level, I may be able to do more videos on the game and show you guys exactly what it's like. Nevertheless, hope you enjoyed this kind of first look thing. I want to try to bring back the formula that I originally had for the Phantasy Star Online 2 series, and see if maybe that can be a thing that I can do from now on, because I just really liked what I did with Phantasy Star Online 2 first look, and I want to try to replicate that into other videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching, I really hope you enjoyed. Leave me any kind of feedback in comments below, tell me what you think of the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Tamriel, like, subscribe, and as always, have a great day. See ya.